Good afternoon, Lucas. It is Wednesday. I realize I am late, but I had some issues. And I had a cross-country meet. During this cross-country meet, it was really hot and humid, and I didn't enjoy it all that much. And there wasn't very much water around, and at a cross-country meet, that's kind of helpful. This lack of water also made me think about the water issue going on in Cambodia that I've recently stumbled upon. In Cambodia, just like the United States, there are three main social classes: the high, the middle, and the lower class. The high class and the middle class usually tend to live in urban areas. They usually get clean water through the piping systems that go straight to their house from large central locations throughout the city. The lower class tends to live out in rural areas where they don't have this piping. So what they do is they have these large concrete structures that collect all the water during the monsoon season from May to November. And during the dry season, they still have water in those large concrete structures. Yet this proposes a problem because now they have large amounts of stagnant water. This stagnant water allows for multiple diseases to infect the water, for multiple animals to get into the water, and insects to get into the water. And the main point and the main issue going on in Cambodia right now is a large amount of mosquito reproduction that's actually occurring in these large concrete containers. Now, some people might say, well, if they're having issues with mosquitoes getting into their water, then why don't they just put a tarp over it? But since the structures are made to collect rainwater, then they need a way for the water to get into the large structure. And so a tarp doesn't necessarily cover it. I didn't really mean to do that. Instead, the solution that I'm proposing, and the solution that might actually work, is that within the concrete structure we make an entire ecosystem. This ecosystem would then be able to filter out the water and create clean water for people then to use, instead of contaminated water that allows for multiplication of the mosquitoes. But, Lucas, how do we make an entire ecosystem in a small concrete structure? One possible solution is to add fish into the concrete structure to then feed off of the mosquito larvae. These fish would then produce waste, solid and liquid forms. The solid waste would be the easiest to filter out. You just send it through a sand filter. The sand, being so closely together, forces only water molecules through, and the large fecal matter does not get past the sand filter. But the ammonia from the fish's urine would be one of the most difficult things to filter throughout the system. How this is done throughout nature is that there are two different types of bacteria that you can find on any common bedrock. These bacteria take in the ammonia and produce something that plants are able to actually use. Take that water after the bacteria has been within it and place it into an ecosystem with plants. A controlled ecosystem, of course. Yet as the water overflows, you then take the overflow and you pump it back into the tank of water with the little fishies that are feeding off of the larvae, and you complete the cycle of water throughout the system. Now, instead of drinking water from these large containers that has been infected through the mosquitoes, now you are drinking water that is now sterilized through the process of our environment, cleaning it and making it, good stuff. Anyway, Lucas, that's what I'm working on now with the water crisis in Cambodia. If you have any suggestions or you would like to comment, do so down there. And Lucas, I will see you on Friday.